And my name's William Dawson, and I'm so glad that you guys are here. And I am recording this, and I'm not the king of Zoom, but I'm giving it the old NCCU try. So I'm so glad to be here, and I'm going to show you guys about this ukulele program that I've developed over the years. So my name's William Dawson. I work here at Duke University Hospital in Durham, North Carolina. I'm the musician in residence for Duke University Hospital, and which means that I just run the music program here at the hospital. I'm not a music therapist. I never claimed to be a music therapist. I'll let some more people in. My brother's a music therapist. My sister-in-law's a music therapist. They definitely let me know I'm not a music therapist, and so I'm not. I'm just a professional musician. I got a degree in education. I was a school teacher for years and years and years, teaching music in North Carolina. And then I started teaching music in hospitals, which is how I kind of moved into this position, teaching at the UNC Hospital School, University of North Carolina Hospital School, and here at Duke, and then also at psychiatric units and all kinds of places. So I want to just talk a little bit about the Ukulele Kids Club, which I'm not affiliated with. I just think they're great. I sent them an email and said, hey, I think you guys are great. I have this this ukulele program. I just want to share it with everybody for free if anybody could find it useful. And I hope that if you're a teacher, if you work with patients, or you work with children, or you're just interested in playing ukulele on your own, that you find a lot of use out of this. Stephanie from the Ukulele Kids Club gave me some bullet points, and that's good because I need some bullet points. So I just wanted to let you all know out there in Radio Land that the Ukulele Kids Club is an international charity that has helped thousands of children around the world to overcome the stress, anxiety, and health challenges and serious physical and mental health conditions. So they're just this super great charity. I don't work for them. I'm not paid for it by them. I've just observed their program over the years, and I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. Their mission is to seek to improve the well-being of medically fragile children around the world through ukuleles and the support of music therapy. We give the gift of music for life. The Ukulele Kids Club has 267 affiliated music therapy sites. That's a lot. And has helped over 2,000 kids just in 2021. So just in 2021, the Ukulele Kids Club helped over 2,000 children and has donated 11,600 ukuleles, which is amazing. There's a pediatric music therapist here at Duke University Hospital who's a colleague of mine, Trey Batson, and he's a wonderful, wonderful man, and he has taught ukulele to kids here at Duke University Hospital for almost 15 years. And he receives ukuleles from the Ukulele Kids Club, and he's always really grateful for it. I even found him a secret closet he could hide them in here at the hospital because it's hard to get closets and storage areas in the hospital. Ukulele Kids Club at Home is a program to provide ukulele resources and music therapy groups to patients once they're discharged at home from the hospital. So kind of a cool thing that they have this program where they keep the music going. It includes the Ukulele Kids Club resource portal, Ukulele Kids Club Academy classes, free ukulele lessons on demand through Utropolis, and free online music therapy groups through the Berklee College of Music. And that's kind of what this is going to be. I just sent them an email, the Ukulele Kids Club, and said, I have this program that I use, and it's really successful to help kids and also adult patients. I teach this in the psychiatric unit every single week. I've done it for 7 years, and it's a big hit. And this is going to be saved on their website if I'm doing this Zoom right. Who knows? And I hope it's real useful. I'm getting close to the end of the bullet points. If you are not one of our Ukulele Kids Clubs or kids or families, please consider a contribution to help support the donation of ukuleles to medically fragile children and teens. I mean, if you want to throw a little cash at any kind of program, I think this is an amazing program. I'm not getting paid to do this. I don't work for them. I just think they're really, really good people doing this. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Make sure you go to their website, et cetera, et cetera. Make sure you go and check out other classes, because I actually went to their portal and saw that there are a lot of other teachers like me, people like me, who wanted to help teach people about ukulele. So I'm going to tell you about my program real quick, and I hope that it's really useful. I got a little chat box, and the chat box says, "So excited for the program, thank you. I'm at your service." Okay, so this is a free PDF. This book that I wrote is free. I tried to get it published, and nobody would publish it because it's color-coded. And Mel Bay and Hal Leonard and Berkeley Press and all these places were like, we're not going to publish a book that's color-coded. And the whole program is color-coded. So I decided to just make it myself and sold it for a couple of years, and then just decided, let's just make it free and give it out to people. So if this is a program that can help you and you can teach it to other kids or anything like that, I hope that you use it. Everybody should have gotten an email with a PDF of it. Or if you go to my website, william-dawson.com, william-dawson.com, there's a PDF of this entire book, and you can just have it for free. I hope you use it a lot. I also randomly worked with a couple nurses from China for a couple years, and they translated the book, and the whole entire book is in Chinese. And I had to learn a bunch of Chinese songs. It was really tough. Anyway, so if you speak Chinese, you can get a free version of the book in Chinese too. I'm kind of rambling here, and now I'm going to tell you, hello, Tracy. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to help out. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how this program works. It's an open tuning. That's what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to let you see some of the book. I'm going to talk through it a little bit, and then I'm going to demonstrate. I have different size ukuleles here, and then I'm going to strum through some songs. If you play in standard tuning, that's fine too, because there's 55 songs in this book. And every single one of these songs in this book, this free PDF, which I hope you use and get a lot of use out of, it's all public domain. And it's public domain because if you work for a big organization like Duke or anywhere, they're not going to want you to monkey around with copyright materials. So when I realized that I wasn't going to just be going from, random psychiatric units and random schools teaching these programs, I can't teach Beatles songs if I'm printing up these books and using them here at the hospital. So I had to do all this. Can we put a link to the PDF? I like it. I think that's a good suggestion. Let me see. Okay. I'm going to spend 1 second and put a link to this PDF in this chat box so that you can grab this. Let me see. Copy. Anybody tell me if this thing works? And I know that Stephanie from the Ukulele Kids Club is going to be watching this now or later. And I tell you what, Stephanie, I am doing my best. I'm giving it the old North Carolina Central University try. So I hope that that PDF worked. If it doesn't, please let me know and I'll send it again. Okie dokie. So, yeah, so all the songs are public domain. All 55 songs in this book are public domain, which means they can't copy it. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can do this. I'm giving it the old try. Da, 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 da. I think I've tried to send it again. And if it doesn't work, I'm gonna show you a different website that you could go to pull it up. All right. If you go to william-dawson.com/ukulele, that's just my personal website, kind of an archive of different bands I've been in. There's going to be, let me see if I can share my screen real quick. Then I'll really be futurific. Sharing my screen, always kind of scary. Here's my screen. All right, ukulele, William Dawson, william-dawson.com/ukulele. So if you go to my website, you'll see it looks like this. It's my bands and things like that. Go to ukulele for music teachers and music therapists. Scroll on down, and if you click on this right here, free PDF of the book, you can get it. And if you speak Chinese, like I don't, but worked on for a long time, you can get the whole thing in Chinese, including songs that are Chinese folk songs that this was so hard to do in Chinese. Oh, I met another nice person into the room. All right. How do I stop sharing my screen? Let me see. I am doing my best. All right. Well, I'm sharing my screen. Okay. So I can't figure out how to stop sharing my screen. All right. Moving forward. 12 minutes into this, I think it's a big hit. So if you go to my website or if you follow the chats, you can find this ukulele book, and it's free. It's got 55 public domain songs. It's all just an open tuning. That's the whole concept of this. Because I found that when I would be working with children in a hospital, I might only have 10 minutes to work with somebody. You know? Let me see. Somebody says, chat. Wow, that's great. Thanks a bunch. You're welcome, Debbie. I found that you might only have 10 minutes to work with a kid. And I've taught music for 20 years. I mean, I'm a multi-instrumentalist. I taught band in schools. I play drums and saxophone and flute and drums and accordion, and I play most of the instruments. I know what it takes to really teach a kid an instrument, and I know how important it is to teach a kid an instrument. Thank you, Tracy. Very generous. I know how important it is to have a good foundation of instruments, whether or not it's how to hold a saxophone, finger it properly, and breath control, and all of these things. They're super important, and I'm not throwing that out the window. But if you got 10 minutes to expose a 6-year-old kid in a hospital to a ukulele, you can't really start with like, okay, this is how you tune a ukulele. Or if you're in a psychiatric unit with 30 adults with mental illness, nice people going through hard times, letting another nice person in, you might only have, a 20-minute music session with 30 adults, and you're not going to spend the time teaching them how to tune it. You want to have like music right away. So I was always trying to figure it out, and I moved here from Mississippi, and I used to play a lot of blues, and if you're a guitar player, you know that sometimes you use different tunings with guitars, like an open tuning. If anybody's hanging out, please mute yourself because I'm kind of rambling. I'm the dictator of the Ukulele Kids Club video I'm making. So I realized, this was my big realization about 11 years ago, if I just put the ukulele in an open tuning, all the kids or adults, anybody with any kind of differently abled people, if they have arms or if they want to do it with their feet, you can do it right away if you have an open tuning. So this is a baritone ukulele. They all come in different sizes. I just tuned this to open G. So D, G, B, and then I took this E down to a D. So that's a G chord. It's like playing a harmonica. You kind of can't play the wrong note. This is just a G chord. You could bang away on this G chord all day long. Let me go down. Yeah, different size ukuleles. Ukuleles are great. They're really durable. They're great. Okay, tuning. If it's a baritone ukulele, you would take it D, G, B, E, take it down to the D. That's an open G chord. Okay? If you have a tenor or a soprano ukulele, these are great Waterman ukuleles I like because they're made out of plastic. They're pretty indestructible. Instead of the standard C tuning, G, C, E, 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 A, like my dog has fleas, everybody knows that my dog has fleas, you drop the next 3 strings down. So G, B, D, G. Both these are Gs, the same pitch, and then B and D. That's a G chord. Same with the little soprano. That was a concert size, this little soprano one. So now we're in an open tuning, okay? So every note, every chord you play, that's a G chord. And I will tell you that definitely 50% of the time I work with kids. Yesterday I was in the cleft palate clinic here at Duke University Hospital, where I get to like work with kids while they're in between seeing providers, and I bring in a little ukulele. Just strumming is the first step. If you get into this big deal about how it's tuned or the history of it or the fingering of it, if you're teaching a kid individually and you're about to have a long relationship with them, certainly that's how I would teach a private student. If I've got 8 minutes with a 6-year-old in a hospital room, just getting them to strum it is where it's at. And I have had other teachers flex on me about it, being like, you're teaching the kids the wrong way, you're doing them a disservice. And I disagree. Anything that's going to get a kid playing right away, I think is the right thing to do when you have a little bit of time with a kid in the hospital. Also, remember, some of these kids might have all kind of situations going on that you might not know about. Maybe they have learning disabilities. Sometimes you don't notice until you're starting to work with them. Just getting them to strum an open chord is where it's at, okay? And it gets more. Da, 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 da. You can read all this. I reread this for the first time in a couple of years. I was like, I really wrote an introduction. I really have thought a lot about this, like 3-chord program for kids in hospitals. So you can go through it. But what I did was, when I realized that it was open tuning, so this is a G, well, I put a blue sticker, this is just electrical tape, on the 4th fret, 1, 2, 3, 4, or the 5th fret. So that's a C chord. That's the 4 chord. So that's a G chord, just one finger. That's a C chord. And then on the 7th fret, I put a red sticker. That's a D chord. That's the 5 chord, if you're kind of into like music theory. Julia knows what I'm talking about. That's it. That's the whole concept. It's so simple, but it took me so long to, I got my friend, how do you teach them to bar? Awesome. Really good. Totally good question. I'm going to tell you. That was the whole concept. It's so simple. It's like, yeah, of course, if you're in an open tuning, no duh, you're going to be able to just play with one finger. It took a long time to like refine this. Okay, so if you get this book, my friend in the chat, it's a brilliant Julia. Download this PDF. If you want to go to sleep, you can read my introduction. Like, I can't believe how much detail I put into this introduction when I wrote this book. But basically, here's some of the reasons why this is great and very effective. It's totally ambidextrous. It doesn't matter if the person plays it left-handed or right-handed, because you're only playing with bar chords. If you go this way, it's the same if you go this way. You work with a kid and they say they're left-handed and you're like, oh my gosh, are you going to be like Paul McCartney where I have to string your instrument left-handed? Are you going to be like Jimi Hendrix where you take a right-handed instrument and just play it upside down? Are you going to be like Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins, who's a left-handed person but specifically learned how to play the guitar right-handed? I'm not here to get in that argument or conversation. This thing works either way, okay? I got a friend in the chat room. Nice. That's my friend Tracy. I don't know you, but I like you. Okay. Also, if you are somebody who works with patients in the hospital, you'll know that they have IVs in their arms. They might be having transfusions and things like that. And they might have the IV in the crook of their hand or in their elbow. And then you really are working in a hospital if when you work with a kid, every 2 seconds you make their pole go off. Who knows what I'm talking about? Pole's going off. It goes beep, 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 beep. And it's an occlusion in the line or there's air in the line or something like that. I'm not a doctor, if you can't tell. But so I kept having this problem with the poles going off all the time. And then I was like, I just have the kid play it flat and do it with their thumb. And then the pole won't go off. I hope this is making sense. And if this works for one other person out there, I'll be very, very happy. If you work with kids in hospitals and you have problems with them having lines in their arms and it makes the poles go off, just have them play it flat. It doesn't matter. We're not trying to like create, a huge amount of music theory with a kid. We're just trying to work with a kid in a hospital and be nice to him. Playing it flat is fine. Totally had kids who, didn't have use of their arms or didn't have arms. We just play it with our feet. We just play it with our feet. I don't think that's the wrong way of playing an instrument at all, So, pick or a thumb. If you got picks, that's great. But if you're running around and you don't have picks, just do the thumbs up program. All right. Now I'm getting to my friend who asked me, how do I teach them to bar it? Okay. I call it the pinch. I'm just like, you want to pinch. I have to say this a million times a day to adults and children. You want to do the pinch. It's like you're pinching your finger and your thumb together. Do the pinch, okay? The key to this, and you always point this out to kiddos, is they'll grab an instrument and they'll put their thumb way over the top, or they'll put their thumb way up on the back. You want to have your finger on the sticker on the front, and you want to have your finger on the sticker on the back so you can give it a real squeeze. And then it comes out. This is not automatic. And I'm going to tell you what, if the kid's under 10, they might not be able to do this right away. They might find it real, they might not be able to squeeze it hard enough to make it do that. That's totally okay. If I worked with a kid 10 or younger, and I'm in a little tiny hospital room, and I've got 12 minutes to hang out with this kid before some doctor comes in, I just say, hey, you just strum open the whole time, because strumming is the first step. And so if they strum the whole time, but I pass through the chords, all the songs are in the key of G. So if I pass through the chords and they're still strumming open, it's still going to sound good. And they're going to be instantly playing songs, and they're going to instantly have self-esteem, and they're going to instantly take over the world. I don't know what to say, but meet kids where they're at. Don't flex on them. Don't get real hung up on their hand form. Just making it happen. Make it happen, okay? And gotta wipe this stuff down. I tell you what, I like these plastic ones because these are crazy. Like you can wipe them down with bleach and stuff like that. But that's other hospital stuff. That's other me going crazy talking about this ukulele program. If you're working with a kid with visual impairments, get a little stickers, and put one little bump sticker on the back and two on the other. And then so when I work with children with visual impairments, I still teach them. I just call the chords. I say 2, or 2 for the 2 bumps, or 1 for the 1 bump. So, and this is a whole theory about why the G string always pops on your ukuleles and your guitars. It's about tension and stuff. It's so boring. I was really into this when I wrote this. All right. If you're playing a baritone ukulele, there's other chords you can do. That's more in the introduction. It's basically a banjo tuning. It's basically an open banjo tuning. So I hope if you're really, really into this, you read my whole introduction. Okay, let's get to the bones of this. I cannot believe I've been rambling about this for 25 minutes. You're all very good sports. Okay, I always teach this Row, Row, Row Your Boat song first to everybody because it's all in the key of G. And I'm going to skip forward for a second. It's color-coded. If the words are in black, like regular words on a printed page, it's an open strum. Let me switch to this guy. If the words are in black, it's an open strum. If the words are in red, you pinch the red sticker. That's the entire concept of this. And I have taught thousands and thousands of children and adults with this. It's not rocket surgery. So, first thing I do is row, row, row your boat. And I tell the kids you can play it left-handed or right-handed. You can play it flat if you want. Anything that works for you is good. I say, you do the thumbs up, or you have guitar picks. I have a lot of guitar picks. I give them to the kids, and I always give them a souvenir. So you can keep this guitar pick as a souvenir. Very surprisingly, let me see if I have any. Managed to convince my program, Arts and Health at Duke here, to order me, put the UNC and Duke picks. I I came up with that. I remember where I was walking. I was like, Uke, Duke, I'm a genius. So anyway, I always give the kids a pick as a souvenir. All right, row, row, row your boat. If you're at home and you're playing along, I hope this is fun and useful for you. If you're somebody who's just interested in ukulele, you might be like, darn, this guy isn't really showing me anything I don't know. That's okay. It's okay. This isn't for everybody. But at the very least, you can have 55 public domain songs, all in the key of G. So we're going to just count to 4 and we'll start. 1, and I'm going to just roll these tunes for a while and demonstrate how I would do a typical lesson for kids in the hospital. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. If you see an alligator, don't forget to scream. This is advanced. Row, row, row your boat gently to the shore. If you see a lion, don't forget to roar. Row, row, row your boat gently down the brook. If you catch a little fish, let it off the hook. And then I always do big ending. Big ending's my favorite part. I hope I don't just seem like kind of a rambling lunatic to all you fine people out there. You see how you could immediately have any kid do this, and they would be like, wow, I really play the ukulele. Okay, let's see. Chat says, singing it backwards, holy cow. Whoa, Julia. I know Julia. We go way back.
You want me to sing it backwards for you?
No, Julia, I'd have a seizure. It would flip my wig. So you can see how row, row, row your boat is just something you could do right away, and they'd feel real successful. Here's another. And so all the songs in this book go 1-chord songs, 2-chord songs, and then 3-chord songs. And then at the end, there's Spanish language songs. There's some spiritual songs, holiday songs. Okay, so Are You Sleeping, Frere Jacques, Where's Thumpkin? That's another Are You Sleeping, Are You Sleeping? It's just a 1-chord song. So instantly a kid would be like, wow, I know this song too. So I don't make all the kids play all these songs in order. I pretty much do row, row, row your boat. And then if it seems like they're ready to move forward, I hop them forward. All right, apples and bananas. This isn't the exact same. I like to eat apples and bananas. That's more a common version of the tune. This is the version of the tune I do. And I'm going to do it 2 times, not too fast. That's what I always say, 2 times, not too fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like to eat. See, it's just open. I like to eat. I like to eat apples and I always call the chords, I call the colors red. And we pinch the red bananas. I like to eat. I like to eat. I like to eat apples and bananas. And then I would do it again. This is also a good time to mention that if I wasn't working at Duke University Hospital and had to use public domain songs, this whole book would be full of like Bob Dylan songs and Beatles songs and country songs, Willie Nelson songs and stuff like that. Because if you can change the key of whatever songs you like into the key of G and color code it, I just did this in Word. You could do any 3-chord song with this program. It's going to be in the key of G. I mean, in theory, if you retuned your instrument, you could put it in whatever. But, you know, Act Naturally, that song Ringo would sing with the Beatles. They're going to put me in the movies. All I have to do is act naturally, that old Buck Owens song. You could do that. Blowing in the Wind, the Bob Dylan song, that's just G, C, and D. So any 3-chord song you could change to be in this tuning. Like Wheels on the Bus, same kind of deal. Wheels on the bus go round and round. Red, round and round. Open, round and round. Wheels on the bus go round and round. Red, all through the town. Not a hard concept. And if a kid is a little kid, you know, under 10 or has any kind of learning disabilities or anything like that, just say you just strum open the whole time and I'll pass through the chords. And that's what I do all day long, every day. All right. It's a busy spider. Okay, let's keep screwing on down the line. All right, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. This is our first song with the blue chord. You can see that here's our blue chord, okay? So I'm going to do this. Once we've kind of done open, once we've done 2 chords, then we get to the blue chord. And this is also a program, if you were like a teacher in a school, you could put up on a big, whiteboard or whatever and teach a whole class this. Be fine by me. I don't own any of these tunes, and I certainly didn't make my fortune off of this program, but I have taught thousands of kids it, and I really hope it helps anybody out there. Okay. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. It's just open, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and red. Do the pinch, toes, knees, and toes. Open, eyes and ears. Blue, mouth and nose. Red, head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees, and toes. And now, that's all 3 of the chords. That's all you have to learn. And if you're getting to work with a kid a couple times, they'll be able to build up to it. Let's skip on down to a couple other fun ones. This little light of mine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And then blue. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it open, shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. And then red, let it shine. And then open, let it shine. Okay, that's another good one. Red River Valley, I'm a real sucker for old cowboy songs. She'll be coming around the mountain. Home on the Range, I do love this one. Starts open. Oh, give me a home, blue, where the buffalo roam, where the deer open and the antelope red play. Sometimes I wish this was tuned a little lower for me. Where it's open seldom is heard, blue, a discouraging word. Open and the skies, red are not cloudy, open all day. See how easily we can do this? Red, home, home on, open the range, where the deer and the antelope red play. Open where seldom is heard, blue, a discouraging word. Open, the skies red are not cloudy, open all day. Cruise around a little bit more. Oh, chat, have you ever tried to tune it open D? I haven't, but it would work completely the same because it would still be the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord. 1. Oh, baby. I can't do that song in my book because it's not public domain. So whatever tuning you want to do it to is completely okay. It would totally work if you did it color-coded. So that's a good question. Let's keep on cruising down. Oh, Susanna, Inky, Doodle, Star Spangled Banner. This one's really hard. It took a lot to reduce this song down to this. I say, you ever go to a baseball game? And they're like, oh yeah, my brother plays baseball. I went to see a baseball game. And I'm like, okay, man, you know that song? Let's do that song. And I just do 1 strum each for this because it kind of moves strangely. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early red light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that, and now here's the blue chord, Star-Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Play ball. You know what I mean? I don't know how, I don't know any of you out there, but one thing that really blew my mind as I developed as a musician was realizing, like, whoa, you can cut chords out of songs. If you've ever played the Star Spangled Banner, there's A minors in there, there's B7s in there, there's all kinds of diminished chords. And if you wanted to do like a really amazing big arrangement of the Star Spangled Banner, yeah, you'd put all those jazz chords in there. And that's super. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't be there, but they don't have to be. If you're working with a 10-year-old in the cancer ward, you don't have to teach them about diminished chords. You can just do the Star Spangled Banner like it's at a baseball game. St. Louis Blues, that's a great song. Moonlight Bay. This Old Man. Let's cruise down to something funnier, something more interesting. Man, Clementine. This song always blew my mind because this is actually in the North Carolina curriculum to teach children this song. It's totally about a kid drowning, and it's in the North Carolina curriculum. I'm like, I don't know how deep they dug into this. No more monkeys jumping on the bed. I love this song. Boy, this is like 5 little monkeys blue jumping on the bed. All the kids like this. Open. One fell off. Red bumped his head. Open. Mama called the doctor. Blue. The doctor said red. No more monkeys jumping on the bed. Everybody likes that. That goes on and on and on and on. Rockin' Robin. Okay, so somebody's coming on in. Come on in. All right. I like this Rockin' Robin song because this is the most famous example of somebody being able to. I'm going to stop your video. This is a most famous example of somebody screwing up the paperwork. Now, this is a very famous song. We all know the Jackson 5 version. It wasn't copyrighted or copywritten correctly. They screwed up the paperwork. So this song is in the public domain. And that's why you see this song on a lot of kids' videos and a lot of cartoons and stuff like that, because it's a really fun blues rock song, but it's in the public domain. So let's do it. He rocks in the treetops all day long. It's just open the whole time. Hopping and popping and singing his song. Oh, the little birdies on the Jaybird Street love to hear the robin going tweet, tweet, tweet. Blue, rockin' robin, tweet, twilly, tweet. Open, rockin' robin, tweet, twilly, tweet. Red, go rockin' robin. Blue, we're really gonna rock tonight. Every little swallow, every chickadee, every little birdie in the tall oak tree, the wise old owl, the big black crow, flapping their wings, singing, go bird, go. Blue, rockin' robin, tweet, twilly, tweet. Open, rockin' robin, tweet, twilly, tweet. Red, go rockin' robin. Blue, we're really gonna rock tonight. And then the next page has the bridge. Blue, the pretty little raven at the big bird stand. Open, don't know how to do the bop, and that was grand. Blue, started dancing crazy, and don't you know? Red, I popped the buzzard and the Oreo. Open, he rocks in the treetops all day long, hopping and a popping and a singing his song. Oh, the little birdies on the Jaybird Street love to hear the robin going tweet, tweet. Blue, rockin' robin, tweet, twilly, tweet. Open, rockin' robin, tweet, twilly, tweet. Red, go rockin' robin. Blue, we're really gonna rock tonight. Big ending. Big ending. Always my favorite part. I'm just gonna cruise through a couple more tunes. I really hope even just one person finds this useful, because it's really, I based a lot of my career around just using this teaching method to teach kids using an open tuning. and not just kids, but adults, especially in psychiatric units. And we have a real fun time. And just yesterday, a kid who had been at the cleft palate clinic came back around, and he told the nurses, he's like, I got a ukulele and I'm taking ukulele lessons now because I that guy, whoever that guy was. And that's all I want to be. I want to be like a fuzzy memory. Like, I remember I was in the hospital and some guy brought me a ukulele, and that was the first time I ever played one. That would be like the greatest legacy I could ever have. Not anybody knowing my name or remembering me at all. Just like a fuzzy memory of some nice guy who gave me a ukulele to play. I'm always so scared when this chat button comes up. I'm always like, is somebody going to tell me off? Oh, you're awesome. Can't wait to teach my grands. Ah, Debbie, you're the queen of the scene. Okay, we're going to cruise around a little bit. Oh, Christmas tree is just 2 chords. Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, red, how lovely are, open your branches, etc., etc., etc. It was tough finding holiday songs for the book because so many of them are under copyright, but these are specifically not under copyright. What's the name of the plastic uke you use? The plastic uke I use are Waterman. I don't know if this is reverse for you, but it's backwards for me. They're Waterman by Kala, Kala. A lot of ukuleles I use are Kala. This is a Waterman one. And so if I'm working with adults, I use baritone ukuleles. If they're big, I use baritone ukuleles. And they're made out of wood. So you can clean them with Kavi wipes and stuff, but if you start really hitting them with the bleach wipes, it's going to wear them down. These things, like in their promo video, they're literally doing a canoe with it, and then they take the water out and then they play a song on it. So these are like all plastic. Even the frets are not real frets. They're just plastic painted silver, which is a con that I appreciate. Yes. Sorry I'm late time zones. No problem, Peg. I'm glad you're here. And also, this is being recorded, so if you can't sleep and you want to fall asleep to some guy rambling on about ukuleles, you can watch the video. I'm sure Stephanie from the Ukulele Kids Club is going to be putting up soon. I have a little dreidel, a great Hanukkah song, another 2-chord song, Up on the Housetop. This song goes on forever. It's a 2-pager. Also, if you print this book out, if you use it on an iPad or whatever, that's great. But if you print it out, it's laid out perfectly. So the 2-page songs will lay out across 2 pages. So, work at the library. Totally awesome. Rhonda, I hope you get use out of it. I never thought I was going to make any money off of this. And luckily, I never, ever, ever have. I was really discouraged that nobody published this book, but they were like, we're not publishing a book in color. All the accordion books and stuff are in black and white. And I actually had the guy from Mel Bay say, is there a way you can make it in black and white? I was like, no, dude, it's color coded. Like, it's not going to work in black and white. And then I had the guy from Hal Leonard point out a couple songs that I had in my first edition when I was pitching it, where he's like, we actually own the copyright to those songs. Those are not in public domain. So boy, did I snap to attention and very carefully check. Silent Night, very pretty. One of the best times I ever had in my life, most moving moments, was Christmas Eve in the psychiatric unit here at Duke University Hospital. And me and 15 adults with mental illness who needed to have some time to get well. We're in the hospital, and we all performed and sang Silent Night on ukulele. And I was like, if I ever write an autobiography, I'm going to call it Silent Night in the Psych Ward. I mean, it was like the most moving, amazing moment of my life. I'm going to try and wrap this up, guys. I appreciate you hanging with me. I hope this has helped you. I hope you take this book and get a lot of use out of it. Old Lang Syne, you've only got between Christmas and New Year's to get this one going. But it's a cute one. I got a lot of the lyrics, Away in a Manger. Now this is some spiritual tunes. A lot of people in hospitals ask for spiritual tunes. Right after this, I have to learn a good version of How Great Thou Art to play memorial service tomorrow. And that's like one of those songs you've heard forever, but then you're like, I'm about to sing this in a big memorial service. I got to learn it good. So Go Tell It on the Mountain, Deck the Halls. This guy, Jingle Bells. I will say, you got to put a major 2 in this song. You got to do the 5 of 5 in this song. So this is the one song where I'm like the 2nd fret. If you want to do a green chord, 5 of 5, major 2. I'm going to do this tune. Totally. Julia, yeah. No, I mean, this is the using a slide to make it easier to play the bar chords, 100%. And sometimes when I want to impress people, I grab like a Sharpie or something and I'm like, so I moved here from Mississippi to North Carolina, and I was learning all that open chord slide stuff. So yeah, not only would it make it easier, but this is whole based off of that concept of having an open chord so you can use a slide. Dashing through the snow, this is open, in a one-horse open blue sleigh. O'er the fields we red go, laughing all the open way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits blue bright. What fun it is, open, run and sing, red, sleighing song, open tonight, red, oh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way, blue. Oh, what fun, open it is to ride. And now this is the one chord, the one song where I do a 2. One horse open sleigh, hey. Jingle bells, jingle all the way, blue. Oh, what fun it is to ride one horse open sleigh. I'll also say this. I sing holiday songs all year round. Because if you go into a room with like a 5-year-old that you don't know and they're totally mistrustful of everybody they're running into because they don't know what's going on, but every time they have to go to this building where there's doctors and nurses, they have to get a shot or an injection or something uncomfortable. I walk into the room and the kids look at me like, who are you? What's the deal? I say, I'm the music teacher, and trying to find some common ground. I mean, all year round, I'm like, you know any holiday songs? And the kid is very happy to sing Jingle Bells in July. It doesn't bother them at all whatsoever. If you can find a song they know, I'm not trying to teach kids songs either in these circumstances. I'm trying to find a song the kid already knows. He's got the whole world in his hands, 2-chord song, Down by the Riverside. Jesus Loves Me, This I Know. Old Rugged Cross is a personal favorite of mine, Old Rugged Cross. Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, Just a Closer Walk with Thee, Amazing Grace. Okay, I had this very weird period in my life where I was a Spanish teacher in an elementary school because the Spanish teacher quit. But I had studied French. I was a French major originally in college, but the principal was hard up, and so I just quickly learned a lot of Spanish songs. So this is Buenos dias, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? It's all open. Muy bien, gracias. Muy bien, gracias. Y usted. So if you're somebody working in hospitals and you open the door and it's a Spanish-speaking family, you can have a handful of Spanish songs. And I'm always like, boy, you correct my pronunciation. I'm not as good at this as you are, you know. Uno, dos, tres amigos, red. Cuatro, cinco, seis amigos, open. Siete, ocho, nueve amigos, red. Diez amigos son. So there's a Spanish language little number. Manzanas y bananas, that's like apples and bananas we did earlier. La araña pequeñita, boy, I'm really bad at this one. I won't even put it on you. This is Buenos Dias a ti, which is like happy birthday. Buenos dias, red a ti, rojo. Buenos dias, open a ti. Buenos dias, azul, a todos. Buenos dias a ti. Y mucho más. Or if you're doing Feliz Cumpleaños for a happy birthday song. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Jesus Loves Me in Spanish. And then I think this index is wrong. I think I totally screwed up the index. Oh, there he is. Smiling. Okay. Boom. So, I cannot believe I've been doing this for almost an hour. I really hope someone finds this useful. It's not a program to base an entire person's music career on. But if you want to get a kid quickly feeling good and having fun and playing the ukulele, you want to do it like that. Chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tracy, you're very welcome. Does anybody have any questions? If you'll put them in the chat box, I will answer your questions. My name's William Dawson. I work here at Duke University Hospital in beautiful Durham, North Carolina. And if you ever end up in the hospital and see somebody playing accordion in the hallway, that's me. I play the accordion for the chicks, for the chicks. I needed to figure out a way to keep them away from me. So I started playing the accordion. All right, we got some questions. Thank you for the practice. Very nice of you. Kind of signed out. I don't know if I'm still here or not. Thank you for the practical ideas. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, thank you so much. Cool, man. I hope this is still working. And I'm going to wish you happy trails. Stay tuned, as I always say. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me through my website. Oh, looks like I'm still here. Oh, you guys are great. You guys are great. I hope you get a lot of use out of this. It's just a ukulele and an open tuning with a little tiny bit of blue or red electrical tape. It's not rocket surgery. Oh, I appreciate you guys thanking me for this. And at the very least, you can have a book of 55 public domain songs. And that means you can print this thing out, you can give it around, tell your friends, tell your enemies. Awesome. Out of sight. Ooh, I got direct messages or something. I don't know how this works very well. I'm not real good at this. This Zoom thing. And I also want to make sure to remind you that the Ukulele Kids Club is an international charity that helps thousands of children around the world. And I don't work for them. I don't even know any of them. But I've been aware of their program, and I'm like, anybody whose whole mission is to get ukuleles to kids in hospitals are totally cool with me. All right. Tina, you're just being nice. You're just being nice. Oh my goodness. Will you do a part 2? I mean, that's a nice thing for you to ask, but that's kind of it. That's like the whole shebang. There's other things you could do. If you're playing a baritone ukulele, you can do the rockin' thing. So I would... and then if you're playing with a baritone ukulele, I mean, if I did a part 2, which I'm not going to do because there's not much more to it, this is my suggestion to you. Learn a couple of the chords in this open tuning. And my first string instrument was the banjo, and it was in this open key, D, G, B, D, if you're playing a baritone. So then you can learn a G7, you can learn an E minor. C is like this, but you could also do the open banjo strum of it. A minor, D minor. And then as a teacher, if you're just having the kids bang away on an open G chord, you could start passing through more of the complicated chords. Okay, well, I salute you, good people of internet land. I'm William Dawson from Duke University Hospital. I'm the musician in residence with the Arts and Health program. I really hope even one person found this was useful. And thank you very much to the Ukulele Kids Club for giving me this opportunity. And stay tuned and happy trails. And I'm going to see if I can end this thing without blowing up my computer. I don't know how this works at all, but I'm keeping my cool, sort of. All right. Bye, everybody. La 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 la.